Welcome to the Entertaining Pudding YouTube channel. In this episode, I'm going to be taking a look at the Gold Label DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys Superman from Action Comics, a Walmart exclusive. But before we take a look at the action figure here, let's get a little background on the character.
In the endless reaches of the universe, there once existed a planet known as Krypton, a planet that burned like a green star in the distant heavens. There, civilization was far advanced and had brought forth a race of supermen whose mental and physical powers were developed to the absolute peak of human perfection. But there came a day when giant quakes threatened to destroy Krypton forever. One of the planet's leading scientists, sensing the approach of doom, placed his infant son in a small rocket ship and sent it hurtling in the direction of the Earth just as Krypton exploded. The rocket ship sped through star-studded space, landing safely on Earth with its precious burden, Krypton's sole survivor.
Most of us are familiar with the story from here. This all took place in Action Comics #1 way back in 1938. The Kryptonian orphan was found by the kindly Jonathan and Martha Kent, who raised him as their own, instilling in him the values and beliefs that were integral to him becoming Superman. As an adult, Clark Kent started his career at the Daily Planet, a great metropolitan newspaper, where he met Lois Lane, his rival at first, though they grew to be fond of each other and eventually became romantically involved, even though Lois had yet to learn Clark's secret. Once engaged, Clark revealed his identity to Lois, and they were married, finally. The character continues his 87-year legacy as the Man of Steel, Earth's greatest hero, fighting for truth, justice, and peace. Here is the Gold Label Action Comics Superman out of the box with his accessories. We'll take a look at those. He comes with the card with artwork on the front here. We have Clark at the bottom pulling his shirt open and showing the iconic S, and then Superman flying with the S very prominent. It says Superman Action Comics. On the back, we have Superman Action Comics, the data file. Real name, Kal-El Clark Kent. The Man of Steel is not impervious to harm. He is weakened and will eventually die if exposed to kryptonite, radioactive remnants of his old homeworld. He has no defense against magic, and his mind will succumb to sufficient psionic assault, but his real vulnerability is a dependence on yellow solar radiation. Deprived of it, he becomes a mere mortal. Oh, kryptonite. Been many different colors, many different kinds throughout the years, and they do different things. You look that up. Maybe I'll do a video on that, on the different types of kryptonite. That'd be interesting. I will take a look at his hands here. Now they're kind of bent forward, like bent up. They're flight hands. There's one. There's the other. I don't like the bent up much, and I do have another major gripe. I tried putting these on the figure, and they just would not go. These are the hands that came with them. They would not go on. So I had to take them and drill them out a little bit, just so they would fit on the figure. I've never had to do that with the McFarlane. It was a little surprising. So we'll see what turns up here when we take a look at the figure. Let's take a look at his paint applications and sculpting. The face looks really good. I'm impressed by the face. The spit curl is perfect. It's set off of his head a little bit there. But for a comic representation, that's a really nice job. The eyes look good. A little different color on the lips. I said the hair is perfect. That's a really nice one. I'll move down here to the S, which is always important. It's painted on there nicely. Not sure what that little blemish is there. Seems like it's a little bit of extra paint. So we got a little extra paint there, it looks like. I'll move down to the belt and trunks. They look pretty good. There's a little bit of paint red there. The yellow must have been painted over the red. I'll move down to his feet, the boots. The boots are sculpted. They have nice crisp lines. Feet. We'll take a look at his cape here on the back. It's got the prominent yellow S, which I love on the back of the wired cape. I love the yellow S on the back. We'll check out the rear here. We got a nice sculpt there. There's a Superman butt. Overall, the sculpt looks pretty good, except for that smudge of extra paint there on the chest. I'm sure you can see it. And the problem with the hands, we'll see how this affects posability and articulation, and see if that can make up for some of the shortcomings we've got here on the paint apps and the sculpt. All right, we'll start off with his head. Let's see. It can move 360 like all of them do. Let's see. It can move down. Yeah, really far. That looks good. It can move up. Not so much. We'll see what happens. We've got arms that go out. Boy, he's really stiff. Spin 360. He's got a little strange joint there. He's got that forearm joint too there. I guess that makes up for he doesn't have the double jointed elbows. He can't get his fist up there, so that's another minus. But it's got this interesting. I don't know how that would use. We'll see how it goes in the posing. And these are really stiff joints. There we go. That's all right. We get down. We get the wrists around the ball joint. Spin. Legs. We go out like that. They go back this far, forward that far. It does have the double jointed knees and the regular foot with the toe pivot. Oh, let me go back up to the torso here. Put the head up. He leans forward that far. Let's see how far he leans back. He leans back that far. I don't know about flight poses. We'll see what he can do. Get down. Take a look at that. Take a look at his feet, of course. They spin. Already did that. All right. That's it for the articulation. Let's see how he looks with some other characters. Here he is with the gold label Batman Reborn figure. They look pretty good together, except the height comparison there. Batman shouldn't be a little taller than Superman, especially since this Batman is Dick Grayson, the original Robin, taking over for Batman. So another thing with this Superman is the scale. So he's we'll see how he looks with the Green Lantern. How about that? Here he is with Green Lantern Hal Jordan. Here's a glaring instance of scale problems here. You can see the Christopher Reeve Superman. I mean, this Superman looks like he's about 5'10". So let's see what kind of poses we can get him into. So that's going to do it for this episode. Overall, a disappointing figure. He looks okay when he's on display with just his hands on his hips, but if you get a little closer look and you try to replace those hands, it's just, I'm glad I got him on clearance. That's all I got to say. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you're compelled to, and I'll see you in the next one.